Welcome to Rubber Duck Off-Road Garage. My name is Grant, and in this video we're going to be changing a thermostat in my wife's 2015 Grand Cherokee EcoDiesel. So the tools you're going to need for this are a 10mm socket, an 8mm socket, a pair of channel locks, a flashlight, a rag, and of course the thermostat, and then the thermostat O-ring. So the thermostat on this thing is right here. And it's been throwing the P0128 or whatever it is code for the thermostat not working properly. It has 105,000 miles on it, so it's doing pretty good. This is the only real issue we've had with it other than recalls. So other than that, it's been a pretty good, reliable rig. My wife loves it. She drives it. I think she drives probably about almost 50 miles a day. That's to work and back home, because her drive's about 45 minutes. It's pretty close to that anyway. So she really likes it. It does pretty good on the freeway. It can get up to like 30 miles per gallon. I mean, the price of diesel skyrocketed right now thanks to all the crap that's going on, but there's nothing I can do about that. So let's get to changing this thermostat, and we'll see how it goes. Oh, also a plastic bag will come in handy. So what I'm going to do is when I pull the hose off, I'm going to put the bag over the hose with the clamp on it to hopefully minimize the amount of fluid that I lose. I did buy some extra coolant, but I'm going to try to minimize losing as much as I can. All right, let's see what we can do. First off, I'm going to remove this 10mm bolt right here. It holds these two hoses in place. By removing these, or removing this bolt, I can kind of move those hoses a little bit out of my way to get to the two bolts for the thermostat. So the two bolts for the thermostat, there's one here, and then there's one down in the back here. So when I remove that bolt there, I can lift this up and I can get down in there to that bolt a little bit easier. So that's where I'm going to start. That's all removed. Now I'm going to remove the hose. So let's see if I can do this without spilling that much fluid. It is cold. I didn't give it a chance to warm up because I didn't want hot coolant, so there might not be that much coolant in here. Ah, good call. I didn't want to take that thing off and get hot coolant all over myself, so I'm still going to put the plastic bag on. Whoa! Lost the hose clamp. Not the biggest fan of these type of hose clamps, but what can you do? Alright, so that's all on there like that. So just in case any coolant comes out. I doubt it because the thing's still cold, but just in case. So now let's get to removing the thermostat. Let's see if we can get a better angle here. Not really, so I'll just leave it there. Alright. Switch to the 8mm. We'll undo the top one here first. So I grabbed a magnetic dealie here because I've heard people say that they drop the bottom one all the time. So I'm gonna put the magnet down there and hopefully I can catch it if it goes to fall. It's really in a tight spot. Got it. Whew, that little bag booger's in there pretty tight. All right, and there's the old thermostat. Go ahead and compare old, new. Amazing. I'm gonna put the old one right there for right now. So next, I'm gonna pull the O-ring out. There's the old O-ring. Here's the new O-ring. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe it off a little bit. It looks relatively clean. Try to get some of the coolant that's in here, and I'm just gonna lube up the O-ring a little bit. And then I'm gonna put the O-ring back in, or the new O-ring in anyway. You know what I think I'll do? I think I'll put the new O-ring on the thermostat and then put it in. It sounds like a better idea. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and put the new thermostat back in. Lines up pretty much one way. And push her down, make sure your O-ring seats down in there. And go ahead and put your bolts back in. That back one's going to be kind of a pain in the butt. So we'll get this one started. Alright, now let's see if we can do this one without dropping it. Unless we drop it right into the hole, that'd be alright. Oh, I got it. We're gonna remove another bolt here. Another 10mm right here on this steel line. Alright, we got it back in. Whew, it's a little on the difficult side. So there's those two bolts back in. The other bolt I took off, or the nut anyway, was this one right here. It's on this steel line here, just to try to give me a little bit more room to get my hand down in there to get that thing started. Alright folks, so it's all put back together. I got the bolts in and tight. I tightened them up. I didn't tighten them too tight because it is just a excuse me, a plastic housing. So I tightened them down, just trying to keep an eye on the gap. It's all nice and tight. I put the hose back on. I put this bolt back on and this bolt back on that I took off. As for a torque spec, I didn't really find one anywhere. So on most thermostat housings that I've ever changed, you normally just tighten them down hand tight. You just don't, on these new ones, you don't want to go too tight because, like I said, they are plastic. So I'm going to fire it up. I'll get it up to temperature, see if it leaks, and then I'll go from there. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. But other than that, that's pretty much how you change it. You just take those two bolts off. You don't have to remove those other bolts, but I did just to give myself a little bit more room to get in there. And then you pull the old one off, put the new one on, just change your O-ring gasket. So if you like the videos, Please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, hit the notification button so you get notified whenever I upload a new video, and thanks for watching.